Welcome to Concussion Talk Podcast. My name is Nick Mercer. For episode 67, I'll be talking to Mohammed of Ryerson University's Concussion Legs Foundation chapter. Concussion Talk Podcast is presented by HeadCheck Health. HeadCheck Health bridges the gaps in concussion care through simple, powerful technology. Join organizations like the Canadian Football League, Track Factory Racing, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Eastern Washington University, and Volleyball Canada, who rely on HeadCheck Health to improve communication and optimize care. Visit headcheckhealth.com for more. And I'm with Mohammed, and he's going to tell us about what got him into concussion research, fundraising, support. Like why you're interested in fundraising, Mohammed, and why did you start a group at Ryerson?
Yeah. Hi, Nick. Thank you for having me on your podcast today. Appreciate it. I love what you do, and this has inspired me to get on this podcast and share what we're doing at Ryerson. First of all, my name is Mohammed. I'm studying biology at Ryerson. So what inspired me to, raise awareness around concussions? I'm a coach for 5 years. I've coached sports for hockey, soccer, football, and I coach sports for age groups of children between the ages of 6 to 12. And the amount of injuries I've seen is, countless, right? And concussions is a scary topic for young athletes, and it's not really discussed much with parents. It's not really discussed much around coaches. So this was one of the reasons why I was inspired to be able to help raise awareness around concussions. Another big thing about that is my friends. A lot of my friends have played sports like rugby and football, and to see them get concussions and just say the words, it's not that serious. So you see that those 4 words, right? It's not that serious, or 3 words they use.
Yeah.
They tend to use it often because they're very, into the sport, and they're very enthusiastic to continue playing.
It doesn't hurt right then, exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt right then. They don't see the effects right away.
Yeah.
And then there are friends that I have that can't play any more sports or can't do too much physical activities anymore because of their injuries in the past and repeated injuries. So these are some of the reasons what inspired me to help start this initiative at Ryerson University. So what really got us started at Ryerson with the Concussion Legacy Foundation of Canada was the Brains and Bronze Design Challenge competition back in February. So a few group of friends and myself, we decided to join this design challenge just to really challenge ourselves and see what we can do to help raise awareness.
Yeah, because you're not you just say you're in biology, so you're not a computer science guy or engineer.
So
but I talked to Adina in March about the Brains of Bronze Symposium at Ryerson, and sorry, I was interrupting you because I just wanted to mention that you said you know Adina, and you talked with this hackathon and Brains of Bronze Challenge, but I'll let you continue with what you're saying.
Sure. Yeah, so it was more of a tech competition to design something that will help mitigate concussions forever for young athletes. So what we decided was we wanted to focus on the youth and to be able to help create something for the youth that's an engaging way to help prevent concussions. So we have our own startup company after the hackathon, as our team finished first place, which was pretty awesome, and we did get a major prize of $3,000. So that's one of the things that inspired us to continue this. So on the side,
so what company? I didn't know about this at all. What company did you?
So I will give you a follow right after
the
podcast.
Sure. Okay. What's the name of the company you started?
Yeah, so the name of the company is Post Your Check. We're still in the making at the moment. We've been working on it almost every day for like 8 hours. So it is a full-time commitment from our team.
Yeah.
And so at this Brains and Bronze Design Challenge, we met Jeff Brooks, and I'm sure you're aware of Jeff Brooks.
He was on episode 8 or something like that.
Yes. In 2017, I actually got a chance to see that as well.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and the work he's done. Yeah. So we got in touch with him, and we spoke to him and said, hey, we want to get a chapter started at Ryerson because we've seen the Western chapter, the Montreal, the McGill chapter, the UFT chapter. So we thought, okay, there's nothing at Ryerson going on with concussion awareness. So we took the initiative and we were able to get things started. And it's an honor to be able to represent the team as the operations coordinator for this year.
Great. So where do you have a headquarters at Ryerson, or are you? I know now you're mostly online because there's nothing going on in universities. But if there was, say, you guys didn't get started.
So we did get started right before the pandemic hit. So our first step was to get our facilitator. So we do have a professor on board with our project,
That's
our
good.
Concussion Legacy Foundation chapter at Ryerson, and we do have an executive team. So we just finished hiring just this week. We had over
Well,
25 applicants,
nice.
and you know what's interesting is almost 90% of the applicants had experiences with concussions, whether it was themselves or somebody in their family, so they were able to relate. As we were asking questions in the interview of why they wanted to be a part of the CLF Ryerson chapter, they kept mentioning how, oh, because it is an important topic to be discussed because they've either had a concussion or somebody in their family had a concussion.
Yeah.
So so it is really interesting to see how there's a lot of people that want to help raise awareness around concussions, and they were very inspired when they seen that we started an initiative at Ryerson. So it
Yeah.
honestly feels good to be
That's
there to
great.
help out
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And one of the things
Concussion.
is you
Sorry.
inspired us as well with your podcast to be able to help
Thanks.
raise awareness around concussions.
Great, thanks. Yeah, concussions are so, as you mentioned, are so pervasive that it's just everyone is either has had one or knows some, or is a family member who has, and they're just it's an important issue that's often ignored, and that's hopefully not going to be ignored totally by this new health crisis now. But yeah, but you mentioned that you played and coached sports for youth, and Adina mentioned in her podcast that on her the episode she was on that the CLF Foundation at UFT at least does a lot of outreach to schools
Yes.
and young and kids like both said mostly high schools and middle schools, but like you said you coach athletes 6 to 12 or so,
Yes.
and
So
so sorry
with
so
the TDSB, the Toronto District School Board, and the TCDSB, the Toronto Catholic District School Board, I personally do have a lot of experience working with those school boards and with teachers and principals and just children as well in those school boards. So to be able to have that connection is a big asset for us because we're able to reach out to them. I
yeah
mean, at the moment it's a little hard, but
yeah
we also have summer camps coming up online. There's going to be a lot of organizations that have summer camps, so we're
yep
trying to get in touch with summer camp organizations and to be able to set up a virtual class because one of the things with the Concussion Legacy Foundation, as you're aware, is our Team Up Against Concussions presentation,
yeah
which is a 30 to 40-minute presentation. We're able to just teach and help out free sessions, and it's an awesome way for us to be able to get out there and help out. So we're
and
hoping to
you'll
use
learn
a
too
team.
as you
Yeah.
I assume you learn a lot as you teach
Oh, for
from
sure.
the
Yeah. So
kids. Yeah,
we learn as we teach as well, right? So I can personally say that I didn't know as much as I know now around concussions that I did 4 months ago, and
yeah,
even just
that's great.
the awareness around concussions, like at that hackathon, the way they brought it up, it was just mind blowing. And
So, oh, sorry. So what was? Did you sorry? Do you if you want to expand on that? But what was this hackathon like? What? How did they bring concussions that you learned so much? It inspired you to
yeah,
start a chapter arson.
so the Concussion Legacy Foundation, there was a few of the representatives that were there that were sharing their experiences and sharing how this affects young athletes specifically, and to be able to see how I guess sports with physical contact has a big impact on their career as an athlete, growing up not knowing exactly what to do with a concussion. So that has a huge effect on their career in the future. So that was one of the things that if we're able to help young athletes understand how serious concussions are, this will help them as they get older in life. And
Yeah.
that right there is enough for us to be inspired to help out anyone that we
Yeah.
can. And
So
so as I was saying, so we're planning to use Zoom platforms, as our way of helping out and being able to present. And another things that we did plan to do was hold an event by the end of June. So to be able to just I guess share what we have done so far, just with the community at Ryerson, and this is by connecting with the athletes at Ryerson. So at the moment, some of our
via
marketing
Zoom, I
team
guess.
members,
Just
yeah,
via.
so some of our marketing team members are connecting with the Ryerson rugby team and the Ryerson basketball team and the soccer team to be able to connect with athletes and just to ask them questions like, how often do you think about concussions? How often does your team discuss around concussions? And then I asked them the honest question: if your friend had a concussion, would you report it? And then we would have discussions around that, and just to see how interesting, how indifferent every single athlete is. And it's also honestly good to see how there's a lot of coaches that are continually bringing up the discussion around concussions nowadays than they would 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And speaking of that, like, so your coach, you said hockey, rugby,
Yes.
and but what else do you coach? Just those
Yes,
two,
it
and
was
me.
it was it was hockey, basketball, and
Basketball,
soccer.
on soccer. Okay. So what is your sport? If you had to pick a sport for you, or do you just evenly divide yourself among all those sports? Do you have one sport that you
It
play
would be
most?
it would be it would be hockey because I started playing hockey when I was 4 years old, so
Oh,
it's just
okay.
hockey. Yeah.
Oh, so you're well ingrained to that. But so you must know about your teammates who've had them over the. I guess probably not even not they've not diagnosed, not even misdiagnosed, but just not undiagnosed concussions. I guess when you were playing, when did you start hitting?
It started around the age of 13, 14 is when
Okay,
the physical contact usually starts. Yeah,
okay.
and just recently playing in the league, and I mean, the injury I had was a separated shoulder from a hit,
Okay,
and
that
yeah, so
hurts.
it wasn't a concussion,
That
but it was
stings.
yeah. So I've seen on the ice people getting concussions, and just to see how a lot of the things for them change after that. Like if it's, I mean, it depends on the severity of the concussion. Like a
Yeah.
few of my friends had to stop playing for a while, whether maybe a couple months. And I think the biggest thing that a lot of people do that when they get concussions is they come back way too quick and they don't wait for the full recovery, and that is what affects them in the long run as well.
Was there ever any like this is a different question, but any excuse like people had when they because I guess when you were like say 15 years old or hitting a lot in hockey and and you were but what was I think I don't know what kind of player you were but yeah but there was a lot of hitting and you saw people get concussions but you didn't really know necessarily what was happening or they didn't know what was happening but they'd be off you said for a few months
Yeah. So
and what was that like? Was their excuse to say, "Oh, well, I was just a bit nervous about playing, or I just didn't feel right," or did they
I
have
think
some reason that they didn't come back? Or
Yeah, I think the biggest thing would be their parents and their coaches. Just seeing their safety is more important. And
yeah,
if you have those good coaches
well, that's
that
good.
see that side of the sports, being able to take care of your mental health and
Yeah,
before your physical health as well, then I
yeah,
believe that was an excuse. Like being able to see that you're mentally prepared to come back on the ice, like whether you're nervous or are you like ready to get back in shape to play? Because
yeah,
being off the ice for 2 months, it makes a huge impact in your game as well.
yeah. No, definitely. See it, and I guess you didn't get a chance to share your knowledge with your it's a bunch of an echo on my headset, but let's take a move the headset, but that's maybe better. But okay, I'm still recording. All right, good. Yeah, you didn't get if you can. You haven't got a chance to share your knowledge with your I don't say students, but they're your players on your teams. Your coaching. You haven't got a chance yet to do that as much, but because the season's obviously cut short, or even I guess soccer and basketball almost
Oh yeah.
erased. Are
Um,
they?
Yeah, so for sure. With that, a lot of my friends that I do speak to almost every day, I do speak to them about concussions. Like just
Yeah.
a few days ago, I speak to one of my friends who played rugby, and he mentioned how he was knee to the head.
Mm.
So then I started speaking to about concussions and how we have our initiative at Ryerson. So he was very inspired to get involved, and he said, "Okay, I want to relate my stories with other people." So right away he signed up. He's like, "Whenever there's events or you guys are going online and doing events, I'm happy to join." And that just goes to show how enthusiastic he was to be able to just share his story because he learned from his story that he went back and started playing way too fast and he didn't really recover and now he's not playing any more sports. So in terms of being able to speak to teams, we did initially plan before the pandemic hit to
Yeah.
go and speak to the Ryerson sports teams or just even go and present to the teams just for like 30 minutes and be able to teach them as well what we know so far, and they can also teach their teammates and teach their friends and families that are playing sports as well. And I mean, we hope to get that started to be able to connect the team with the teams. And I think moving forward, once we have our entire team, as I said, we just completed our hiring process, so we're gonna have a team of around 25 members, and
Nice.
we hope to get things started within the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned.
And how big is how I'm not sure how big is Ryerson? I know UT is like 50,000, right? And your Ryerson is like, or maybe more than that, probably like 70. But Ryerson is what like how many people, how many students in your
Uh, I wouldn't or
roughly?
I wouldn't have an exact number, but there's a
No,
lot of
no.
people. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
commuter school, so it's hard to count. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's there's a lot of people coming in and out. But Ryerson, this is the downtown focus. Is it's amazing that we have our school right at
Yeah.
Yonge and Dundas, so it's a good
Yeah.
place for us to be able to go out and speak. Because there's schools like the Ted Rogers School of Management. There's
Yeah.
also the SLC, the Student Learning Center. There's many buildings nearby there, which is a good place for us to go and to speak about concussions, people to raise awareness. And we're hoping to hold a symposium once everything opens up again. That's one of our
Nice. Nice.
main plans to be able to even hold our own Brains and Brawn Design Challenge from the Ryerson Concussion Legacy
And
Foundation.
I know Ryerson is very much like a media
Oh, for sure, yeah.
journalistic school.
And
So that must be that must be great for your marketing and for your raising awareness, as you were saying, for school, for even for within your Ryerson and within the whole Toronto community as well.
oh yeah, for sure. It's a good way for us to market the concussion awareness. And it's honestly, it's the way we were inspired by the Brains and Brawn Design Challenge. I hope a lot of people that do attend these design challenge competitions are inspired as well. And it's interesting to see that there were a few members from New Brunswick that were at the competition, and they're planning to start their own podcast of talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
concussion as well. So
Well,
it's very interesting to see that.
reach out to get hold of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's yeah, we can speak about how you can also reach out to them as well
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
how they can connect as well. And they just sent out an email just the other day saying how they were really inspired by the hackathon and to be able to raise awareness around concussion. So we are
Great.
connecting with them as well. And it's just amazing to see everybody grow out of that competition and take more out of that competition rather than just I guess making something, to be able to help the communities we're all from all the different communities we're in.
Yeah, because when I was talking to Adina, she was saying like that same as you that they just started the Concussion Legacy Foundation chapter, but then this pandemic has
Yeah.
really messed everything up, and it's really, I mean, for you for sports, for the coaching this summer, and for even your classes, and for camps, like you're saying, like you're interested in doing camps and talking to
Yeah.
sports teams, and that's all put on hold or made very difficult. And
Yeah.
so what do you have plans for? Can you even make plans for September or
I
for
mean,
next year?
we've made our yearly plan because that's part of our. So we did connect with the Ryerson Science Society to be able to have our chapter affiliated with them at Ryerson.
That's good.
That's in regards to fundings and just to be able to have that club with us, affiliated with us. So we do have a yearly plan with them, and our goals are just events that we can do online as much as we can, because once we get the ball rolling, it's only going to become easier as we can gain interest by reaching out to schools, whether public schools, whether in downtown or in the Scarborough area. And we're hoping to reach all age groups, from age groups of grade 2 all the way to grade 12.
Wow,
And honestly, I think the biggest
big
asset
swath.
for us is, to have connections with our high school teachers. So personally, for me, from my high school, there's a lot of teachers like in the sports field and sports interest that would be very, very enthusiastic in terms of teaching about concussions. And for us to be able to do that for them would be a dream come true, to see their former students come back and teach.
Yeah.
So that's one of our goals as well before
Do you
the
have
high
do you have
school year.
teaching in your sites for the when you graduate, or I don't even what year are you in now?
I mean, I'm going into my final year. So
Final
for me
year?
personally, I did want to become a high school biology teacher up
Yeah.
until second year, and
Okay.
it just recently changed. My goal is to learn more into neuroscience and to be able to
Nice.
actually
Yeah.
do a major and I guess a grad study in neuroscience to be able to learn more about concussions and TBIs, traumatic brain injuries.
Nice.
So this is also very inspiring for me to be able to learn that the school side of it and to be able to apply that as I'm reaching out to people in the community.
Do you
So
do a
that's
lot of do you in your biology? I mean, we did a lot of bird stuff, and when I was doing university, but we did went to different universities, and still our profs are very focused on birds because the evolutionary aspects of birds is fascinating. But so have you learned about like woodpeckers and the
uh,
concussion, the mechanisms for preventing concussions if they can get concussions, or what how their heads not when it's like woodpeckers, but birds or any animal that really uses its head to do whatever it does.
Wow, that's quite interesting. We've never actually looked into that, and I've taken courses like zoology and ecology,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's interesting. We've never actually looked deeper into that topic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
woodpeckers.
research that.
Yeah, woodpeckers are interesting. I mean, that's just because all they do is bang their head like against a tree, and I mean,
Yeah, I never
There's
thought.
something. There's just the physics and the cushioning, and I'm not sure how it works obviously because I haven't looked that hard. Because our birds are more like birds with like just flight and seasons and how they get to where they know where they're going and stuff like that. But I'm getting off topic here. Um, you were you were saying that obviously you're involved in sports and the sports teams. You get a chance to. You're planning to talk to more sports teams at Ryerson that you didn't get a chance to, but necessarily. But is there much knowledge that you know of that you can even see now that in Ryerson sports or in Ryerson in general about concussions? Though, like in the athletics department, is there recognition that concussions are something that really need to be taken seriously?
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches are speaking to the teams privately, but we haven't really seen much on their social media, and that's one thing that we should want to do, and we plan to do because a lot of, especially let's say first years coming in, they look up to, or even high schoolers, they look up to the athletes, let's say at Ryerson or at different universities, and to see these athletes, professional athletes in universities raising awareness around concussions, whether it may be even a 30-second video where it's like the team up presentation that they all pledge to speak up about
Yeah,
concussions to that would be a great way to just I guess teach the community that's watching on social media, and that's one of our goals to be able to help so teach them so they can teach the community as well. And this is we're all in this together, so
yeah,
we hope our team is making a lot of different ways and plans to be able to get out there. I mean, there's so many opportunities. It's just a
yeah,
matter of just reaching out and just getting things started. And the president of our club, Talha Manazir, we hope to also get you connected with him. He's got a few plans to be able to raise awareness as well by
nice.
raising fundraisers, and that's another fun way for us to be able to integrate with the Ryerson society and the Ryerson community as well, to be able to raise fundraisers for concussions research.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Sorry. So, what your title at the Ryerson chapter is?
The
Are
operation,
you president or operational what? Operational manager?
I'm the operations coordinator. Yeah, it's just a
Coordinator.
name.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So I was saying, like, I was thinking that. I mean, it's like I was saying before. It's, COVID really messing it up. It's too bad, but it's also kind of worked out well for, I guess, for you guys especially. That not worked out well, but I shouldn't say it like that. But it's, I mean, like the positive. I mean, you guys have really your influence on social media and your application of computers and media and using social media to converse is obviously going to be what it's going to be from now on. So,
For
and
sure.
it
Yeah, this
has
is
to be
the
going
new
to have to
normal.
be. So, it's exactly the new normal, and thus also the way the general population is leaning was leaning anyway. So, it's kind of like it's leaning towards more technology stuff. So, it's good that you guys have this avenue to use as your to spread awareness and to not just always just written paper like pamphlets and going out talking to people, but if you can connect people through social media where you're more readily available and easier people can find it in their own time when they're more relaxed at home, they can watch a video on social media or YouTube or whatever. So
Yes.
if
And what we
you
also plan to do is get, I guess, athletes and teachers as well, or coaches, to be able to present the 30, 40-second video. And we're
okay,
actually emailing and contacting a few professors or even coaches at the moment from that are coaching various age groups from the professional level all the way to ages like 10 to 12. And we're hoping that they are able to reply back and we can discuss how they can present the video to not just their teams, but also to their social media, just like an IGTV on Instagram or on Facebook. And
right.
it would be like a 30, 40-second clip just talking about concussion awareness and teaming up to speak up against concussions.
Right, so that yeah, that's I mean, so
Yeah.
like I asked you before that I mean, you don't know when the schools or how it's going to start again in the fall, but I guess you're finishing your exams are over now. You have written
Yeah.
your final exams.
No, the final exams have been completed, but I'm taking courses online. I'm taking 5 courses right now
Oh
online
yeah,
for
well,
the training
geez,
exams.
sorry to interrupt you when you're
Oh no, no, it's
busy.
fine. This is awesome. I'm enjoying
so,
this.
is all biology courses or is it like mostly
No, I'm taking
concussion?
a few of my upper liberal courses, so like Intro to Astronomy, and I'm also
Oh,
taking
okay.
there's a very interesting course at Ryerson called Digital Skills and International Innovation,
Oh
and
yeah,
in that
nice.
course we're learning a lot about
That's
the
interesting.
online world, and I guess it's the underhood of the social media world. And I've just made a post recently, so we're making blog posts almost every week, and our professor's done a great job inspiring us to write blog posts, and just last week, I'm preparing to write how social media can be a great way for young entrepreneurs to integrate their ideas onto social media platforms. So,
So,
and we're
so,
focused on high school students for that presentation as well.
so where's your blog? Where can people find your blog? Muhammad Mal's blog, not necessarily this.
Yeah,
So,
so if you just search up, I guess if you were to search up Mohammed Mall with CEID, so it would be like the course code
yeah.
CEID 100,
Okay.
and
Oh
you'd be
yeah.
able to see the blog post on WordPress.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm on my site concussiontalk.com is on WordPress as well. Been on there since 2010.
Yes,
But
yes, I
yeah,
had a
it's
chance to see that, and I shared that with our
yeah,
team as well, and they were very inspired.
great,
And
great.
also, on behalf of our team, they wanted to say thank you, as you've inspired a lot of us to be able to, I guess, push ourselves to continue this
Yeah,
initiative.
great. Thanks. So thanks. That's good. That's good to hear. Because I mean, I know they're good at decent number of listeners with regard to you actually talk to somebody who knows what you've been doing, and it's just good to hear for sure. Definitely, it's really nice to hear. And but so these courses that you're doing now, they go until June or until the
Yeah,
whole summer.
some of them end at the end of June, and some of them end at the end of July. So it just depends on the course. Yeah, that's these 5 courses, and then I guess going into my final year, I do have 9 courses left, so it's a good way to end off. And then
Yeah,
I am planning to do research in the field of neuroscience, so I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. I mean, we're hoping all the labs open up by fall.
I was gonna
Let's
say,
hope.
do you have a prof that you're following already, or that
Yeah, there's a
you're
few.
planning to that you were planning to go into neuroscience
Yeah,
discipline?
so for neuroscience, I was actually looking into St. Michael's Hospital. Just at
Oh,
the
that's
moment, I am
good.
connecting
Yeah.
with professors and researchers there, just to see their research and being able to find what interests me the most, and I hope to
Is
connect with them.
is St. Michael's where the concussion collaborative is?
Yes, yes, I believe so. And Ryerson also has a connection with iBest, which is a connection between Ryerson and St. Michael's Hospital. So that is an asset for us Ryerson students as well as we're
Yeah.
applying. Yeah, so it's a good way for us to get involved and help out as well with the research.
Nice. Well, yeah, this is you sound very enthusiastic about it all, so it's great to hear. And I hope know like you obviously continue your social media stuff and your computer promotion and your awareness as much as you can now. It's hard. I mean, it's obviously a weird time, so schools are can't communicate with kids in summer camps necessarily as
Yeah.
easily, and it's not no immediate reaction and stuff. But if we're just gonna keep putting information out there, then people will learn it just because they have to. It's just is there, and they'll. It's just almost like osmosis. Like they just have to be taken up because so much information there that's just
Yeah.
you might as
They're
well
gonna
learn
be
it.
exposed to it so much that they'll just you'll see it even if you
Yeah,
don't want to. And
yeah,
that's like
just
our goal to just put it out there. Yeah, as you said,
yeah,
if there's our entire team and our marketing team as well, just out there just posting stuff around concussions, it would be a good way for us to reach all of our friend group and the sports teams that we've played with in the past, and just people in our families that we are connected with online to see and share what we know about concussions.
I think that's awesome. I think that's great that you guys are doing that, and you guys have an avenue to really spread awareness through your connections with media and with science and computer and engineering computer hackathon type stuff. And but so how can people find Ryerson Concussion Legacy Foundation chapter now?
Yeah, so we do have our Instagram page, the Ryerson Concussion Legacy. We had our first post a few weeks ago, just as an introduction. So what we
Yeah,
plan to do for the next week, as if there are viewers listening on this, they're able to see that we will be posting an introduction of all of our executive members. We're planning to do a short video from each member of the team, just introducing themselves and why they got involved with the Concussion Legacy Foundation Ryerson chapter. I think that will be a good way for us to share who our team is. And
and that will be on IGTV or on
yes, yes,
Instagram. Okay.
yes, it will be on Instagram, and we plan to post that as well on Facebook as it will be connected. And we hope to get things started on Twitter as well, to post videos around concussions. And I guess you can find us. Anyone can find us on Ryerson Concussion Legacy on Instagram, and yeah, you can follow our page and support us as we get started. We're still fairly new, so we hope to
Yeah.
get the ball rolling soon.
And you said you'd also post on Facebook, but do you
Yeah.
have a page on Facebook, or do you just
Uh,
mean individually?
No, we
You
have
try to
not
share
made
it.
a Facebook page yet for the Ryerson Concussion Legacy, but we hope to get that started once our marketing team is finalized. We hope to get that started. I think by the end of next week we'll have it running.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, it sounds like you guys have everything in order, at least computer wise and media wise. So
Yeah,
that's great. And yeah, so thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Now, people at Ryerson, if they're probably in bed now and just like, well, not no, now I'm not gonna post it now. I'm post it on Tuesday. But I mean, students will at least get involved if they can, or I guess they can't now because they can get stuck involved, but they hiring is finished for Ryerson. But get involved with your local sports teams, and there's gotta be someone you can help out and teach everything you can about concussions and spread the word about Ryerson Concussion Legacy Foundation chapter.
for sure.
And
And as our hiring process did finish, but we do hope to get members just to come out as general volunteers to be able to raise awareness. And we're more than happy to help teach, I guess, the team up presentation to anybody at Ryerson or anyone within the Ryerson community that wants to come out and to, if they want to prepare and make that video, we can help and support them and train them as well while making that video to be able to reach out to their friends and their family as well.
that's great. I think
Yeah,
that's great. So yeah, so thank you again, and please everyone heed Mohammed's words and get involved. So thank you so much, Mohammed.
yeah, I appreciate for having me on your podcast. You guys continue to inspire us, and we love your podcast. And I recommend everyone to whoever's listening to this to listen to all the podcasts to take out some time and just to listen. It's
Yeah,
interesting to see all the different professionals coming out and speaking to you and speaking about their experience,
yeah.
and it honestly inspires us as well to continue this. And we look forward to connecting with you again in the near future. Just to share our progress with the Concussion Legacy Foundation at Ryerson. And we
Thank
appreciate your this time.
thanks so much.
Yeah,
Thank you all for listening, and please reach out to Ryerson's Concussion Legacy Foundation chapter and Mohammed at on Instagram, and I can find more information on my website www.concussiontalk.com in the profile or preview of this podcast. So please check that out. As always, music at the beginning of this podcast is by Ben Sound. www.bensound.com.